M-A, K-O-N.
And the S, the K.
Zach Murray.
Hi, Zach.
Hi.
He's an organizer.
Z-A-C-H.
Yeah.
Murray.
Yep, M-U-R-A-Y.
Excuse me.
Hey, Zach.
Hi.
Good to see you, sir.
Hi, Zach. Hello. Are we set for Monday?
Well, we want to talk to you about that. Maria is also here as a graduate student representative.
Also, sorry about this thing last night. I was looking at it. Somebody else does that for me at night.
Yeah, it's fine.
But Monday is good if you're good with that.
Well, what we want to, we have several letters to deliver to the both of you from students all across campus. Thank you.
From community members, concerned community members, students across campus from different departments, expressing their views on the unilateral decision to move the Africana Studies Department into the College of Arts and Sciences, and is to express that we are not going to let the decision be made and have people who are not invested in the Africana voice make the decision without any kind of consultation, without any kind of respect for a department that's been here for this long. And so I hope that you'll consider them. I hope you'll read them. We have copies of them, so I would suggest that.
And the meeting that we hope to schedule for Monday, we want to make it a more public meeting because several students, like the numbers of students who want to come are more than just 8. So if you're wondering if we can make this a meeting that's more inclusive and more, like perhaps Africana or Ujima or even Willard Straight Hall to bring in more students to voice their opinions.
It's totally fine with me, just a matter of the timing and the venue. I'm glad to do it. I was glad to do it last night, not for our communication disconnect. I have to be in and out of the thing in 30 minutes, unfortunately, because of Monday. So is there some place in this building that we can do it? We have to think about
How many students?
How many do you take this
I don't know the numbers now. It's over 20 is what I can say.
Yeah. I mean, is it 50?
Yeah, probably close to 50.
Okay. No room in this building. Okay. Sure, we can find your room.
I would suggest even a bigger venue because there are people who will know about the meeting. And so if you can get a space that can accommodate more than 50, an ample space, then you can make room for those who will be coming, who weren't able to be here today.
Yeah, sure. No, that's fine. I don't think I'll have time to drive to Africana or to some place where I have to get my car and go, but I think we could maybe do it in the memorial room. We'll find some place to do it.
Yep.
Could you work on reserving Willard Straight? It's managed by students.
Exciting week.
We'll do it then. We'll do it. Yeah, we'll take care of it. We'll do it. Exactly.
I haven't frequented it.
Oh, the memorial room
We'll
is
be-
certainly
that's a
big
fine-
enough space.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a fine
Okay,
space.
I'll take care of that. Okay, good. Good. I appreciate this. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
See you Monday.
Students
Can I-
outside, about
Can I
100
make one
who
more
are voicing their
request,
opinion now.
gentlemen? Please, I know that you said you'd be in and out, perhaps 30 minutes, but I hope during that time you will come during the question and answer time because that's the most valuable time because we have a lot of questions. And as you know, during the meetings we had, a lot of questions were not answered. Satisfactory.
Answered them all, but okay.
Perhaps we will then be able to reconcile our differences in terms of how the questions were answered.
And can I just ask you something about the thing you just said about the 30 minutes? We've agreed to do the meeting, to have the whole meeting with you, so I'm not sure what you're saying.
Oh, because I hope that the meeting will have a question and answer session.
But it'll be whatever you
So
want.
we'll
Whatever you want to do.
okay.
It's your meeting.
Indeed.
So I'm good to commit to 30 minutes, however you want to work it. The only point I was making is I can't add to the 30 minutes time to get somewhere else just because we added it at the last minute. But yeah, no, of course.
Understood.
However you want to do it is fine.
Thank you.
Good. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, please. Thanks, Zach.
Have a nice weekend.
Thanks, Zach.
Yeah, you too. You too. Good luck on the end of classes here.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Turn that off.
Here, I'll let you.
Okay. I want to say just a couple things. You remember when the U.S. went into Iraq and they blew up Iraq and said they were going to give them a new state? What happened? Nothing. This is the model. This is the same model. They claim to want to build Africana, but they want to blow it up first. And blowing it up is the way in which this administration has acted in terms of transforming, they claim, what we have already as a structure that worked for 41 years into something which we have no idea how it's going to look. And what usually happens in these situations is that it's a disaster on the other end. All the examples of that do not work. We know it, we've studied them, we've looked at them across the United States. We want to say we are not accepting that. The second thing is timing. Cornell claims to really care about its students. The students are jumping off the bridges. and this is the last week of school. If we really care about our students, we would not be doing this. People should be doing exams, should be writing papers, should be studying. People have LSATs, all kinds of exams, and they have to be out here protesting and marching. So if they really care about students, why would a provost, who is the chief administrative officer, do something like this? Why? But they don't care. People are stressed, people have headaches, people are crying, people are breaking down, because it's like pulling out the rest of security from under the students who tend to see Africana as a place that they identify as a strong and solid home. So by putting this out the last week of school, it's really a very dangerous and really sad kind of representation of the Cornell administration. The third thing I want to say is that we as the faculty feel totally insulted because this was done without even conversating with us, without talking to us, without discussing it, without any kind of way in which we were interacted with. We were told by the provost on Wednesday that this is the deal, there was no discussions, and I've heard from other colleagues that this is a new model that Cornell is running, a kind of top-down approach where they tell you what's going on and then you have to sort of go with it. We are saying if all of you are here at this institution think this is a world-class institution and this is the way that it should function, would you agree with that? I think you should. No! If it's a world-class institution, then it needs to operate by the standards that we know. Every university contemplating a change of this nature consults. They call in senior faculty. They say, I want to do this. What do you think about this? They try to have a buy-in. There's an administrative model which everybody knows works. This did not happen in this case, and this is an insult to me as a faculty member and to all my other colleagues and to all of us as faculty. I'm not talking about black faculty, period. I'm talking about everybody, faculty and students of this institution. This is a sad day, I think, and that this would happen at Cornell at this time in history when we have moved so far ahead, I think is a really dangerous thing. And of course, structural racism. There is structural racism that is being handled. Essentially, if you have an administration that thinks Africana Studies faculty have no brains and that they're going to put out in a press release yesterday that we are getting a PhD, we already know we're getting a PhD, so stop playing with us.
All right.
We already know this.
All right.
So basically it's an insult because it makes it look like we are irrational, like, oh wow, you're only getting a PhD and you're marching. This is not the case. We already have a PhD in place, proposal in place that is really going to go forward this year. But basically what has happened here is that an attempt to take it away from us and to diffuse it into arts and sciences, to take our budget, to find ways to
That's right. Talk about
Africana Studies, which for years has stood alone and challenged the ways of incorporation of this institution and many other institutions in the world. Keep in mind that Eurocentric knowledge assumes it's the norm, and Africana Studies programs around the country, Latin American Studies, Native American Studies, Asian American Studies, all of the other studies tend to say no, there are other forms of knowledge, there's other information that you don't know about that you don't teach, and we want to make sure that's part of the institutional framework. That's what we do.
So you guys are going to struggle to hear a little bit because this is actually as loud as it goes, but we want you to just bear with us because we still have lots of folks who want to come up here and speak. Okay? All right, so the next professor that we have is Professor Indri Asilamumba. Please welcome
I was able to stand here on my own with the Reverend R. Sharpton. You can hear me? Okay, can you now?
Yes.
Can you?
Go ahead.
Can you hear me now? Well, can you now? Can you hear me? Yes. Okay, great. No, I was saying.
They hear you.
Yes.
They hear you.
I was saying many years ago, I was standing here with the Reverend R. Sharpton about yet another one of those damn decisions.
Right.
At that time, there was some decision about housing, and a study was done about program houses.
That's right.
And the study concluded that program houses contributed significantly, positively to the life of the university. You know what they did? They ignored